I'm not convinced I know how to read. I think I just memorized a bunch of words. That's literally what my mom did to me. Hi, my name is Faith. I can't read. And I wanted to do today the newbie book tag challenge, blah, 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 etc., etc. I'm also eating ramen noodles, and I think, as we all know, ramen noodles has a tendency to stay burning hot no matter how long it's been sitting. It's been like 10 minutes and this is still flaming, steaming hot. But I'll burn my tongue for you. That's not true. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. I'm hungry. First question. Why did I start this channel? I am starting this channel. 1, I like to read. 2, I like to yap. 3, I started watching this girl online. She talks about whatever she wants. I think her name's Nicole something. I can't remember. But it made me think to myself, I think we really do need more women talking about whatever we want on the internet. Like, just let me senselessly yap for a little bit. And I think that's all right. I think that's good, actually. What are some fun and unique things that I'm going to bring to the booktube? Here's the thing. I'm not fun and unique. I consider myself pretty much plain old Jane. I'm just like you, man. Except probably more homeschooled and messed up. Unless you're homeschooled and messed up, then we're exactly alike. But I don't see myself as bringing anything fun and unique. I see myself as doing something that I want to do on the internet because I have the right to do that and be weird on the internet. Please and thank you, let me be weird on the internet. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I'm just excited, as I stated before, to be weird on the internet. I'm going to say what I want and do what I want. And there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just excited to be able to, like, have an outlet to channel all my crazy into. Because, I don't know, sometimes it's nice to just be able to be weird on the internet. I think as an American, I have the freedom and the right to be just a little silly, goofy girl on the internet. Why do I love reading? I think everyone has the same answer for this question. I don't think I've watched a single booktube newbie video where they answer something other than escapism. That is what we all read for. You need fiction in your life because you need to not have to live in your own life sometimes. Not because, like, you can have the best life and still need fiction. It's just the fact of the matter is that fiction is an essential part of the human experience. And so that's why I like to read, is because fiction is an essential part of the human experience, and I need the escapism to be able to be like, okay, so I'm actually not just laying on the couch here. I'm in Mordor or wherever. That's the only fantasy place I could think of. You can tell what books I like to read, I guess. What book series got me into reading? I have always enjoyed reading, at least as long as I can remember, and I don't remember anything before I was 12, so take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But I've always enjoyed reading, and I think the book series that really solidified it and was like obsessed with it was Percy Jackson. And I think all of us were gripped by that book. Old Ricky Boy knew what he was doing. He wrote to a generation. All of us, I think, share the experience of being Percy stans. So, I love those books. But I was talking to my mom. I have a 1-year-old. And I want to, like, teach her to read, like, before... but without revealing too much about myself and my my crunchy habits, we're planning on homeschooling her. And so I want to teach her to read. And I was talking to my mom, I was like, I've been doing a lot of research about how to read and like how to teach a kid to read. And it's like so complicated. And I was watching these videos about these phonics sounds and everything like that. And I was like, I didn't know that. Like, do I even know how to read? And my mom was like, yeah, I never taught you phonics. I just told you a word. I showed you the word and I told it to you. And you just memorized it. And so I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not how, why did you teach me to read like that? And it made me think of that New Girl line that everybody quotes and loves, that Nick says. It's like, I'm not convinced I know how to read. I think I just memorized a bunch of words. That's literally what my mom did to me. What would you ask your favorite booktuber? My favorite booktuber, I think it's a sentiment that we all have because she's pretty well known, I think, in the booktube community. Carrie of Carrie Can Read. I did not intend to rip her off. I started a bookstagram a while back and said, oh, Faith can't read. That's pretty funny because I can read. And so that'll be a really funny joke that I made up right now. And then getting more into it, I found Carrie and I was like, oh, well, now I feel like an idiot. That's a good dumpling. Anyway, I would ask Carrie, would you like to go to a coffee shop with me and just sit there and read the whole time and not talk, because I actually don't know how to talk to people very well at all. But if I could sit across from you and read, and we could sip our little drinky drinks and eat a croissant. A croissant! What challenges do you think starting a booktube community... Wait, what am I saying? What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? That's the question. What do I think will be the hardest to overcome? Here's the thing. I have a chronic fear of people I know seeing me online where I'm talking about things like, this is my bedroom. If you know me, you know, like, I don't know. I don't like to be perceived. So if you're watching this, please don't ever think about me ever, and don't talk about me ever. Just watch it in silence and then forget it immediately. And if you know me and you're watching this, don't mention it to me. That is mortifying. I don't want you to talk about me, even to me, about me. Don't talk about me to me, about me. Thank you. You know what I mean? That's my biggest challenge, I think, is like, people are allowed to watch this and think about me, but please don't. You have the freedom to, but don't. I don't know. It's like the worst thing that could happen to me is the people I know see me having fun on the internet. I don't even know why it scares me so much, because in my day-to-day life, I don't put off a vibe of being put together and super serious. So like, this is the way that I am in real life. So why am I so worried about people in my real life seeing me here doing this silly thing in my bedroom with that weird painting in the background? I don't know. When did I start reading? I've been reading for a long time, but like when I started reading again, because I stopped when I started going to college, which is really sad. I feel like that would have been the best time to start reading again, because it's like, I have so much time to read now. Because I skipped all my classes. But I didn't read in college, and I started reading again about 2 years ago, probably. Right before my baby was born, or when I got pregnant or something. I don't know. The time doesn't really exist in my brain. I don't know what day it is today. I'm just existing on this plane as best as I can, and I'm really making it worse for everyone else because of it. Where do you read? Wow, what a complex question. I want to carry a book around everywhere, but I don't carry a purse around everywhere, and it feels like it needs to coincide, you know? Because I don't want to have to just be handling a book without it being in something and it gets damaged, you know? So, mostly I read right here, right, and that side. That bear is my daughter's. It's not mine. I mean, it could be mine. I wouldn't be worried if I had a stuffed animal that I, slept with, but it's not mine. It's my daughter's. Her name is Violet, not my daughter's, that bear. That's where I read and sleep, and I guess eat as well, because that's what I'm doing right now. What kind of books do I like to read? I will read mostly everything. I don't like thrillers when they're icky. I don't like to read icky things. I think like all women, I went through that phase where it's like, I'm not gonna read romance because romance is for girls. And I don't like romance. Well, as it turns out, I just hadn't read a good romance book. I needed to read a good one. But I mostly enjoy, like, I love a good sci-fi book, and I like fantasy. I love fantasy, I guess you could say. I think sci-fi and fantasy are pretty well matched in my mental catalog, but if I had to choose one, it would be sci-fi. And I like lit fic, but I also like not having to deal with everyday life problems. Like, if it could be magical realism lit fic, like, cool, I could go with that. But, you know, that sort of thing. I like reading books that have nothing to do with me and will never have anything to do with me. Like, I'm married, so I like to read romance because it's like, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I never have to romance a man ever again. I've done my duty. I just have to bring up my husband every chance that I get, or maybe I'll explode. Anyway, what books do I like to read? From top to bottom, sci-fi, fantasy, lit, everything else pretty much matched. I like those ones the best. Everything else is pretty much matched. I'll read it. I don't like, okay, that is everything else and then thrillers probably. And it's like fun and funny. I don't want to read something too serious. I want it to be funny and fun. And I don't want the characters to be idiots either. You know how you read a thriller and it's like, why are you breaking into their house to steal that computer? Like, you're going to get arrested and then the murderer gets away. Like, you're not helping anyone. You're being dumb. That frustrates me. So that's why I don't like to read thrillers as often. I really don't think I've stayed on topic one time for one question. Is this even gonna make sense? My baby is awake. I'm just gonna call it there. That's the last question, kind of. What does your book collection look like? There's like 2. Oh, it's behind my bottle. It doesn't matter. I have books over there. I have books on the shelf. I'll see you later. My baby's crying.